Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry I don't have my face cam today. I'm going on a little trip, but I know you guys don't care about that shit right now. But in this video, I'll be going over why crypto to the short to midterm is going to rally and bounce. And oil, my oil trade that I've been talking about before, is my hedge if my crypto thesis gets invalidated and helps me protect all my losses. And I'm putting a bet, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I am claiming, I'm not going to say, oh, we're going to go up and down or sideways. I think, I believe, and I believe that crypto is going to rally to the mid to short term, and here's my thesis why. All right. So first things first, let's go to USDT. All right, so this USDT on the weekly time frame. So this is something that I want to bring to you guys' attention. As you can see here, what these lines and what these bubbles means, I'm correlating these to the volume. So what I've noticed on the weekly time frame when I'm looking at the volume and what happens whenever USDT starts to go on a downtrend, or whenever USDT is going up, I'm trying to see what is the correlation between the volume, the both, and the patterns of what I'm seeing to kind of confirm if we are going higher or lower, right? So one thing I've noticed that on the volume, whenever let's kind of zoom out a little bit. If you notice, whenever on the volume price is spiking and going up, I've noticed that USDT is consolidating, or aka accumulating, right? And what I've noticed that when volume is dropping, it's usually a top, and we're gonna start reversing and go on a selling phase, aka bullish crypto. Okay, and another thing with the volume bars, the peaks, whenever like this last peak, it took around 385 days before we reached like that top. And right now we just recently had this volume peak where this volume bar surpassed this peak also. So with this logic, that means after there's a peak, right, you see a move, an expansion. We had the peak, volume start dropping, and now we had that move, right? So what is happening right here? We had that volume peak, volume is dropping, and now we had that move up. So now we are anticipating another selling phase, aka bullish crypto. I'm anticipating to go to the 200 EMA at 5.82, but here's the thing, this is a weekly time frame, so stuff takes a little while for things to play out. So what I'm anticipating here is that we're going to continue making lower volume, and then this average range, or this average EMA, is going to curve up, and then we're going to get a big drop down, and we're going to start accumulating, or not accumulating, sorry, we're gonna start expanding out, and then that's when more than likely crypto, or sorry man, I can't talk today, USDT is going to be down here, and then we're going to get that higher high. Remember, we're still bullish. I am just anticipating, this is telling me that we're going to get at least one pullback, which might be that macro lower high to go higher. I'm still anticipating we're going to go to the highs of the range. There's so many equal highs here. There's a lot of liquidity that price can come take. But overall, since the volume is dropping down and we had our peak, we're almost getting closer to our days where that local top is more than likely going to be placed here. Then there could be another move up, which I'm looking for like an SFP and a quick reclaim down in the range, and then start continuing down. But we could easily just start moving down now. We could easily just come down and come to the 200 EMA and then blow up out of here. So this is why, mostly on crypto, why I am anticipating at least a rally to the short to midterm, not for the long term. Okay, I'm gonna be gone for about like 2 weeks, so let's see if this happens when I'm gone. My vacation will be gone for 10 days, so once I'm back, I'm gonna do an update and let's see what happens. But pretty much all I'm seeing is that volume is dropping, price is rising. You know, the whole classic thing, if price is moving towards a direction but the volume is not backing it, then it's a weak move. So this is technically a weak move. So now whenever we start coming back and breaking out of here, then we're gonna get that pullback, aka that rally on crypto. Okay, it could probably be during the summer, or maybe beginning of October, who knows, with the whole what's coming up in crypto, the catalyst, what is it called, I forgot the name. What is it called? The fuck That shit that Trump is trying to pass, that bill for crypto. I don't know what the fuck the name is, but my thesis is that we're actually gonna rally just like how the ETF excitement happened on the last cycle, where whenever they were talking about they're gonna start doing Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin rallied, and then when they actually dropped the ETF, Bitcoin dumped. So we could easily get that rally now, because now they're talking about there's going to get passed the Clarity Act. There you go, the Clarity Act. So pretty much I believe during these time I'm away, or maybe until I'm back, the Clarity Act is going to get more hype, price is going to start rising, and then once the Clarity Act actually passes, we're going to get a dump, just like how the ETF passing on the last cycle. And another thing, which I don't really look at these charts too much, but fear and greed, people are just not optimistic overall in the market. And a lot of the times whenever there's an extreme low or a extreme high, it doesn't look like a high, and just in the lows it doesn't look like it's a macro low, as in it looks like shit. Like, let's be honest, Bitcoin looks like shit. It looks like it could go down lower. A lot of people think it could go down lower, low volume. And now moving to Bitcoin, so you can see what I'm talking about, when we go over to Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, let me show you. This is a weekly time frame, yes. Even here on the volume, yes, we had a huge volume spike here, but overall, when you notice the overall the weight of these volume bars, there's no volume. It's just sideways. There's nothing really going on here. Okay, so this is pretty much telling me that this is consolidation. They are accumulating. We already have an extensive move to the downside, and with no really real rally up. Okay, no really real rally up, right? From this is the POC of the range. We are right underneath the POC of the range, value area low, value area high. What I'm anticipating for it to be bullish, maybe one more move down. Like, I think we could probably get one more swipe down to the value area low, tap it at 55 to 54K, right? This could easily happen, just like how in USDT, how I was saying, how up here, since it's going to take time, we still have a few amount of weeks before we get to the top from the last volume peak, right? How I said we could easily come back up. Oops. How I said we could easily come back up, take out the highs, and then reclaim the range, and then move down to the 200 EMA. So if that was going to look like on Bitcoin, that would be pretty much a move down to the value area low, accumulate, and then boom, then get that real move up to at least, I would say 87 to 90K bare minimum to possibly target the value area high, and then the Clarity Act passes, and then that move down. Or depending, it really depends. We're trying to predict too much in the future. Clarity Act passes, we get one more fat dump, and then that's actually a low high for all-time highs, because we do have a vector recovery right here, so that could easily happen too. But we're getting way too ahead of ourselves. But right now, what I'm anticipating for the short term, because since this is the video for the short to mid term, is that we could easily come down to 55 to 54, and then we'll move out of here to go to 90K, I would say. And to confirm that, we also need to get back above the POC. When you obviously get back above the POC at 67K, and right now this is the 513 EMA. Once we start seeing the 5 and candles closing above the 5 and 13, and the candles shifting, like now crossing each other, and price is coming back up here like this, then that'll be a good chance to long, break a structure, target the VWAP or this order block to the value area high. Okay. And since I'm anticipating Bitcoin to look like this, a lot of times Solana, ETH look similar as to Bitcoin. So pretty much the same structure I'm looking at for Solana and ETH. So let's go take a look at that real quick and tell you how I'm anticipating for that to look like, okay? All right. So Solana, whoops. Okay, so Solana, same thing. It looks very similar to Bitcoin, okay? We need to get above the POC, which is the POC is at $85. If we get above the POC, we could easily come recover these vectors. For sure, if we get above this POC and close weekly candles back here, we have equal highs here. We are for sure coming to 118 to 120. So if we want to start building longs here, locally we are bullish. If we zoom into the 4-hour time frame, let's see how that's looking like. Let me see how that's looking like on the 4-hour time frame. Sorry, I'm fucking up right now. Okay. So let's zoom out. Let me hide all the indicators so it could be easy to see. So when we mark structure, what is going on, right? We had this big move down. Sorry, let me get my highlighter. I don't like that. We had big move down, up, higher low, break. This was the breaker structure right here. Okay, so now technically we are bullish and this is our invalidation low. All right. Our invalidation low is at $63, and now this is the high we need to break above, which is coincides with the POC of that macro pull, right? So we are technically internally in this range, we are bullish, right, on the swing structure, right? Obviously in the scalping range we are bearish, but we're not getting into that. But overall, we did break structure on our swing structure, and we are still bullish. We're not bearish until we get underneath $63. But let's keep it real. We get underneath $63, these ugly lows are gonna go and likely go to the value area low at $53. Okay, so at this moment it's not a bad area to start building along here. Not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just for fun. I use this channel as a trading journal, so please don't take my word as gospel. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at for Solana. ETH is the best one out of all three of them in my opinion, and this is why I'm kind of putting a little bit more weight on bullish for crypto, because when we zoom out, this weekly time frame, by the way, what do we see here? This macro pull, the volume profile, we went to the POC and now we reclaimed it, and now even looking like on the weekly time frame, the EMAs are about to cross and reclaim. So we need to see us the EMAs cross, reclaim, and then now we could start attacking this vector recovery right here at 2.8k, right? It go up to the value area high at 3.2k. So overall, bullish short to midterm. Guys, this might take all of August to September for us to blow up and start taking those vector recoveries. But overall, on my days off, that's what I'm gonna be looking at. Well, I can't talk. That's what I'm gonna be looking at. I won't be able to have my laptop or anything, so I have already put all my limit orders, I have all my stop losses and everything ready to go. But overall, that's why me personally, I'm going long for crypto. So number one is because we are very overextended to the downside. Low volume, nobody's buying. We just been down only. A lot of people are bearish. Some people are getting, honestly, it really depends on who you are. Some people have more bullish news on Twitter, more people have bearish news, but overall, we are in fear, extended over the downside. USDT on this move up has low volume and already reached its peak, and we can safely anticipate a likely probability that we are going to get a selling phase, aka a bullish phase on crypto. USDT, if we get underneath the EMAs and the volume bars are breaking above average, then you could target the the 200 EMA on USDT, which is at 5.84. all right, so let me show you. At 5.84, we could safely target this. Okay, now moving forward, how I'm gonna hedge this play, or because obviously I'm not gonna just put all my eggs in this basket. I like to hedge my trades with alternating assets. Instead of shorting the market, I either go long different commodities or low risk assets or whatever. If whatever will cause the market to go down, aka at this moment oil, which is why I've been doing a lot of oil trade videos and a lot of oil trade updates. But let's get into that on the bear case on why this might not work or why this might fail, okay? And my main thing of why this might not work is the war in Iran. I know, boring, everybody's talking about it, but it is a valid thing because it's looking like it's gonna be prolonged. It's not getting any slower, and yeah, oil is going to affect inflation, the economy, and remember, the main thing to focus on is the interest rates. But we will get into that in a bit. Now, let's go into our news and see built my thesis on the oil. All right. All right, so boom. Main thing is that I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty of like, oh, what Iran or what these other people are saying. The main thing is that Trump is still escalating it. I know the U.S. is running low on stockpiles. There's all these things why the U.S. might fail this war, but knowing Trump, he's a narcissist and he does not know how to take an L. And he's even now. This was today, August 14th. He is saying that the Strait of Hormuz is going to be a territory of the U.S. in the future. Like, come on, bro. Like, we're... All right. But anyways, pretty much I'm showing you this article to tell you that there's no de-escalation. This is a clear escalation of the war, aka oil is going to stay higher for longer. And if I'm betting that Trump is going to escalate. Maybe it takes a little bit or whatever. This could be a forever war, just like Iraq. But anyways, to make a long story short, I'm rambling right now. Make a long story short, this is a clear escalation, and this will shoot oil up if it continues. And your high-risk assets are going to struggle because now inflation is going to go up, and more likely they're going to hike interest rates, and they're not going to cut them. Remember, we need interest rates to be cut to validate liquidity going into the market and going into high-risk assets. So looking at oil right now. This is where I'm looking at oil, okay? This is weekly time frame. This is the structure, right? We have that low, high. Now this at $66 is our confirmed swing low. And since we are in a bullish structure, we cannot get underneath here again, right? This is a weekly time frame. We are still finding support on the EMA ribbons. We have a recovery up here at $90. And remember, I forgot who was the fool that said it. Goldman Sachs, there you go. Goldman Sachs predicted that oil would hit $120. And what else more to put weight into that theory than the escalation of what I just showed you, this article right here with how Trump is escalating the war, okay? So if Goldman Sachs is correct, this is the perfect tailwind, aka, man, I'm trying to use better words and bigger words. This is a good, god damn it, reason for oil to keep its bullish structure and continue higher to that $120 price. All right, so I'm using oil as a hedge for my high risk asset bags, and yeah, let's see which one gets taken out. Let's see which bag gets liquidated first. And by the way, do not listen to what I just said. Do not allow your trades to get liquidated. Just saying that as a joke, okay? So now with all that being said, right here, this is the Fed watch about what the likelihood of rates being cut or raised. Now for September, no cuts. Like the past few videos when I was looking at this chart, there was a possibility of it being cut. Now it's not even on the table. They're not even thinking about cutting. The best case scenario is they're gonna hold. And now the likelihood of it hiking is increasing. And as we go through the dates, like in October, hiking is getting higher, staying the same is getting lower, and now this is rising as we're gonna hike even more. Let's see, in December for the Santa rally. Does this look like a Santa rally? If there's going to be a Santa rally, then we need rates to be cut. So therefore, liquidity is cheap and they could go into high risk assets. No. 34% on staying the same, and for sure during December it's looking like we're going to at least get a hike or something. And now let's go all the way to next year, January. Let's see how the beginning of next year is going to look. Yeah, it's not going to look any better, guys. So this is why I'm anticipating to the mid to short term, because remember, this is not going to be what you call it. This is not going to happen tomorrow. Even though I'm making this video, the moves I'm talking about for crypto and for oil is going to take a few weeks. So what I could see at this moment is possibly if we're going to go bullish crypto's going to go up in value, oil's going to either consolidate or go down. And then once they start hiking interest rates, and that's probably around the time where the Clarity Act gets passed, that's when crypto's going to take its dump, and then oil's going to start its pump to the $120 range. And then from there, we will redo this video, redo our thesis, and see what we do about our new information. All right. But I hope you guys are seeing or paying attention more to how I'm building this trade and how I'm building the hedge for my current risk in the market. And for the stock market, and look, NASDAQ hasn't taken its highs yet, but if we're going to be bullish crypto for the midterm, more likely, since crypto is a high risk asset, NASDAQ is a higher risk asset, it hasn't taken its high, so I could see us easily going to the all-time highs and then possibly something. Pretty much I'm anticipating, I am betting, I would put my my credibility on this. I think we're going to take these equal highs, make a new all-time high, boom, hike interest rates, and then move down to the 50 EMA, or maybe if it's going to be a even shittier, move down back to the 200 EMA, and then go up higher from there, and then bull market. But again, this takes a while for it to play out. But in the short term to midterm, which is what this video is about, I'm anticipating high risk assets to be bullish for the short to midterm. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It was short and sweet, but to bring it all together, probably repeated it 3 times already, but to hammer it in your head, for the short to midterm, aka as in this month to next month, so around 2 months, I'm anticipating crypto to go higher. We could get one more move down to the value area lows and then a move up, but we have overextended to the downside, low volume, nobody's really buying, everybody's very bearish, very fearful. So 9 times out of 10, nobody really knows when there's a macro low because it looks very shitty, just like right now, okay? And to save my ass if I'm wrong, because again, I'm just a regular ass dude. I mean, look at this video. It's a fucking cat on the screen that's shaking. I'm talking to you right now. If I'm wrong, to hedge my bets on my crypto, I am putting a portion of my portfolio into oil to minimize that risk. So if I'm wrong, then instead of taking a fat loss, I only take a small one, or I don't take one at all. I end up breaking even. So overall, I think oil is still on a bullish trajectory. I do think Goldman Sachs is going to be correct, and we're going to hit 120, especially on how the war is going and how Trump is just crazy as fuck, does not know how to take an L, and he is escalating even today. Escalating. He's continuing to escalate, and it's not looking like he's going to slow down at all, even if the state of the war looks garbage right now. But I hope you enjoyed and liked. Subscribe. Go into my bio to follow my socials, and I'll see you guys on the next one when I'm back on my vacation, bruh. Yeah, peace out, Beverls.